Today I'm going to show you how I restock my beauty cabinet and also my less harsh version of sea salt hairspray. So I have made a transition to using mostly natural items for my beauty routine. I have a podcast that I was on recently where I talked about my journey of totally switching over to most items that are, natural DIY. I'll link that below if you're interested to hear it. But just the gist is that I switched to using natural products, and I really wanted to put an emphasis on using products that I already had in my pantry. So this first item that I'm refilling is my face moisturizer, and I switch this around every few months, maybe every 6 to 8 months. Sometimes I use olive oil, sometimes I use avocado oil or fractionated coconut oil, but I just use something really simple on my face to moisturize with in the evenings. I did start using olive oil maybe 15 years ago to moisturize with, and I really liked it because it was almost like a natural primer underneath my foundation, my makeup foundation. I no longer wear foundation, but I did like at the time that I could wear the olive oil underneath it, and it just gave that dewy primer look, which was really nice. Here I'm filling up my dry shampoo, so I just use arrowroot powder. I already filled it recently, but I thought I would show it in this video. I'm putting arrowroot powder in a bottle, and then sometimes I add essential oil just to give a little bit of a nice fragrance when I use it. The next product that I'm making is homemade toothpaste. So I switched to using homemade toothpaste maybe 8 years ago, and I do notice, right now I'm out of the toothpaste that I make, so I've been using the store-bought that my husband uses, just Crest or something basic like that. And I notice after using it for a few days that my teeth do not feel nearly as clean as when I use my homemade toothpaste. Something about the coconut oil, the baking soda, and the few other ingredients does a great job polishing your teeth so they feel super clean after you brush them. I do have this recipe on my blog, so I will put that below in the description box, but I just do coconut oil, baking powder. This is calcium carbonate, and I put it in the toothpaste because it's supposed to help remineralize your teeth and strengthen them. So I don't use it every time, but I figured this time I would add some. Then I add sea salt in for an abrasive to help kind of scrub your teeth while you're brushing. And then this is a stevia packet to give it a better flavor. I think in the future I'll use xylitol because I have read that it can be good for cavities, but I'm just using up these stevia packets in the meantime. After you get that nice and mixed up, I add the peppermint oil in, and I am putting peppermint oil in for the first time in over a year. I haven't experienced it, but I've read that peppermint can affect your milk supply, and I am breastfeeding, so I was trying not to use it, but I feel like we're towards the 1 year mark, and I'm going to put it in this time. This is my homemade deodorant, and I also have this recipe on my blog, which I'll link below. The blog one says it's for men's deodorant, but I use it too because it's just nice and powerful, and you don't have any BO with it, which is nice. So I just use coconut oil, baking soda. I put a little arrowroot powder in there. It helps with soaking up moisture, so that's really helpful in deodorant. And then you can put essential oil in it if you'd like. Otherwise, just leave it as is, and it just eliminates odor. One thing about all of these recipes that I really like, again, is that I have the items in my pantry, and you'll see the toothpaste and the deodorant both use coconut oil and baking soda, so it's just really nice to not have to have a ton of different items when you're making your recipes. I thought I would mention this is a jar that had pesto in it, just from the grocery store. So I've gotten the habit of saving pickle jars or just little glass jars like this because they come in handy when you're making your DIY beauty products. Also, if you're sharing, sourdough starter or my kombucha that I started making, it's just really nice to have extra nice glass bottles in your pantry. This last item that I'm making is sea salt spray, and I will link the recipe below, but I intentionally made this sea salt spray because it's not supposed to dry your hair out. You use Epsom salt instead of, kitchen salt, so it is less harsh on your hair, and then the sugar in it kind of gives it a hairspray effect to kind of hold those curls in place, and there's also aloe vera and coconut oil in it. You'll notice I'm cleaning this bottle out. I was using my dryer spray in it, which is actually just vinegar and water and sometimes essential oil. But again, I really like making my own products because it's so quick and easy to just rinse the bottle out. I'm not worried about any harmful chemicals that might get in my hair because I try to use really natural items in all of my household products. I went ahead and boiled 1 cup of water, and then you can do it either way. I just mixed the items in the bottle, and I'll kind of give it a swirl afterwards to mix it all in with that hot water. But you could mix it inside your pot and then just add it to your bottle afterwards. The one thing I did notice with this is that I couldn't use it right away because it is boiling water in a hot glass, so I did have to let it cool down just a little bit, but I will show you how it works here in just a second. I was laughing so hard when I watched the video because I'm making the most uncomfortable face while I'm spraying my hair, even when I did the other side, so I cut that out. But it's not painful. I don't know what the deal was there. So I just spray it in my hair, give it a nice scrunch, and then you can already see the sheen like on that side before I did the other side. So it's just a nice, easy way to give your hair a little bit of body and curl. Thank you so much for watching as I refilled my DIY beauty cabinet, and I will see you in the next video.